Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry about the last that false live. I was having some issues with OBS, so I have to use a different streaming service today. So we'll be in lower resolution, but should be fine. Let's rock and roll. Like 50 carats today. What? All right. We got something else as well. Well, that was what that was. Okay. First anniversary. 100. Mm. Please tell groundwork. Double groundwork for Harris. One's 2 star, one's 3 star. We should be able to get it within 3 runs. All right. Yeah, I don't like chat like that. There we go. Like that. Give me ground word. Come on now. There it is. 3 stars now. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. Luckily, I'm the one with 3 star. I had two 3 star ground works. Medium S. Looks like I'm gonna need 4 with 2 speed. Seems to be seems to work better for me. Give me a down speed. She keeps giving me restock. I wish we had a more stable front runner with card. That right there got to be trash. You keep something to drink, and then we'll run that back. Okay.
rolling out those bases to try to mitigate against that. Obviously, markets are going to be reacting to news about what's happening. And again, a reminder, we're going to think about this. Like the Arab is out. Yeah, that's why radical clearance has the ability potentially to shut off 20% of global energy. That's the kind of leverage they have in their navy, to destroy their navy. But there is a plan in place. We anticipate this to be an issue. And Secretary Wright and Best will begin to roll out those steps starting tomorrow to mitigate against the impact that we have. We now start investing in 6 months. .com/. Instead of we don't what I bet the president always says the office of the state whatever operation decides to do with the commander in chief. That said, we believe the objective that we have set in this mission is the destruction of the ballistic missile capabilities, both launch capability and manufacturing, will be achieved without ground forces. Right now, we're not sponsored for ground forces. Obviously, we're going to have those options. We're never going to rule on anything. But right now, our focus is on the destruction of the ballistic missile launch, the ballistic missile stockpile, the ballistic missile manufacturing capability as well as their navy. How long is that? Oh, that's a good question. No, that is just fine. I mean, you always have to reach out inside the government. You don't know if they're authorized to reach out or not. Yeah. There's some tremendous amount of damage. Honestly, again, I'm not going to give away the details of our tactical one, but the hardest is by getting to come the U.S. military. The next day will be more punch our line right now. So I'm looking at how long it will take. I don't know how long it will take. We have objectives. We will do this as well. Oh, no. But we will cheat those objectives. The world will be a safer place. It's going to get worse. This operation. All right. I think they care about the school girls, bro. Isn't that cute? Oh, yeah, you care so much about these kids. You're such a humanitarian that you're trying to pass excursions and, make it convoluted and confusing as to whether, the regime that kills 30,000 of their own people should we go after them or not? 150 people get killed. Let's cancel the fight. Oh, wow. No, honestly, Marco Rubio is great. I think he is amazing. We are so lucky to have Marco Rubio in 2 days, by the way. Yes, exactly. This is great. And about the girls basically killed and sold by Iran. Exactly. Yeah, he is so good at that. And I'm so we are very lucky to have Marco Rubio. He's a good communicator. He explains things well. I think he does it with a degree of what is this? Oh, there's another one too. All right. Well, let's see what this is. I haven't seen this at all. And let's see here. Message to join force. All right. This is new. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America is waiting for since 1979. And since the brotherhood wars of the universe, my generation, our generation, don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. Our commander-in-chief is steady at the We face a determined enemy, but you are better. We must prove it every single day. History doesn't care if we're tired, scared, or if the fight feels big. It demands warriors rise anyway. Peace through strength, the warrior ethos, equality, unity. Those are not slogans. They're the beating heart of what it means to wear uniform. You think clearly under fire and act decisively in chaos. You uphold the Constitution and you uphold our country without hesitation. We are not defenders anymore. We are warriors. Trained to kill the enemy and break their will. History is watching. Be the force sword oath to be focused, disciplined, equal, and unbreakable. We will finish this on America First traditions of President Trump's choosing. Nobody else has chosen. And notice above all, President Trump and I have your back always. Through fire, criticism, through fake news, through everything. We have to shield because you are the best, most powerful, most people fighting force in the world. May Almighty God watch over you and his providential arms of protection extend over you. God's these warriors. And he's done.
Man. Well, shit. I mean, like, the thing is that some people might say, "Oh, that's cringe. It's bad." There's a reason why recruitment's at an all-time high. Okay, there's a reason for that, and this is it. And yeah, Vince Boys, yeah, 100%, and that's good. Roadblocks, digital gift cards with Microsoft.
Yes. Partisan speak is oral president DUI. We hope you sit back and enjoy this one as we check in with our sound check to start this one for Blue Collar. And then, next, won't even mouth it. It's the thing no matter what. That is foul. Do not. You will catch it. What it is, I want into the bag of the head. If you guys are posting military content, shout out to Mark0_P010. If you guys have really funny clips that you're posting on Instagram and just want to collab with our Instagram for the dividend, let us know the collab and make one second, and then they can go over here. This shit is hilarious. You can't deny that one. Very effective. Very effective. Why the fuck execution on fire? This is like fun. It's a lot. Well, dude, it's actually ironic because all of these things are all the things that I had in like race bag that I was gonna use on Eli Don't Tell Me on Eli Don't Tell for his birthday yesterday. I got last thing, just in case. Got taser, just in case it does it wrong. Normal, we got the gun going out. I'm gonna use Smith and Wesson handgun. And if you got one freestyle playing gun, switch for the hands, always a good idea. Yeah, just those things, friends. You're right. My daddy went to go get those. I ain't never seen him. Oh, family. Like a sportsman, but
That's cool. That's some good training.
very funny. Oh, has enough of it. Raising out stuff that they flash is still done, link block on, and I
That's crazy.
I'm getting girl, and if you're trying to have some free life feelings, you gotta go. I'll bet. Where did you get that at? Oh, look at this shit. Look, how you doing? Right? Like, clean that shit up.
What in the world?
Nah, you're right. Boy out here talking about they love this bitch up. Check up. Yup, come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Yeah, alright. Where's the other guy? Come on now, look at this. Dirt, man. Is the dirt gonna break this thing? It feels very, very actually. Oh. I'll go. Well, they smell it doesn't get up the that. $700 down. You can think like the one thing. Alright, and listen, you cannot get emotional like that. If you want to ask this type of conversation, let me go. And then while he's doing the push up, I'm not raising my voice for your side. For a second, when they meet to me today, and your wife is strong, I know there has been issues on the second. Shaking to the bottom of the floor. I'll say it away like this. It's okay. How do you deal with him working so much? Where did y'all get the money for that? Give his SEO one of these immediately. I'm convinced Orvino Portman can take on any female Marine sailor, soldier, and hero. And she got something to prove what's going on. So it sounded like my father, your dad is back from dead. Hey, so he's not dead? I know she married and got a boyfriend. He's bigger than ask for dear life. It's all he's ever going to get. And cognitive what? Yeah. They're probably doing normal things. Like, that's a normal work thing. Hey, man. I'm trying to take a shit. What's up? Okay. Making sure your battle buddy partner is very important. Great power of happiest maximum. That you know everybody loves. From one boy, it's not out.
Cody, let's get it.
He has to get that on doing good. He plays disc golf on a stick. You gotta hope the pilot doesn't mind moving. He's like, it opens up the ramp. Virgin Rollers, the day before. Then Halloween, God, bitch, slay. He chasing the homie down after the notice. This tongue is going insane. Get over. Hold him down, he takes his pants off. This is why you don't have to worry about running into sign. I just have to worry about I'm just a pair of legs, and guess what? I'm so winning. I would rather go to Arizona school than Airborne school. When was the last time we jumped in the water? You're just bad. Your knees, ankles, and back are never going to be the same. Oh, what did I say? Arizona. This is Arizona school or sometimes a mountain warfare school because real recognize real. This was get down. Go over there. Go over there. Oh, it's a soccer pass? Yeah, I mean, soccer pass. Why did you say there? Sorry. You may now get up off of your knees. And you need 1/3 of the knees blood by hand. When you see 1/3 of the knees blood through it, are we about to war again? This is what we take it for. Let me express some of the comments for everybody who's just like the war. Okay. Yes, nothing more our sons will fight and die for. Same as the generation before us and their fathers too. I'm not like you. Oh, see, this is what I want. I'm trying to take some soul. No going on deployment. We've been waiting for this shit. I want to get some real life experience. I'm gonna go to Florida. I'm gonna come back to when you feel like quitting, but you remember you're a sailor. Yes, husband, don't know how to get together, bro. Powered by vitamin. Reducing their long 85%. Grow healthier hair without the 100. What? I had to call it index because I ran out of space. Fair enough, brother. We're shutting it down. Everyone go home. When you snap your own wrist in half, I ran out of pouches. I need to go to the hospital. We're going to never spend me for how many people you do this while acting. Absolutely save $30 now. I would read. This is actually terrifying because bro, I'm on flipping up just jumping into the wall. Actually, let's not look at this as something terrifying. Let's look at this as like an opportunity. Because if your foot, okay, your ankle goes over here, all right, and let's just say it's flush. Maybe for once you get something. But if y'all got boys, people don't think about how real the voting is, how real the voting somebody is until they come. If it's a Friday night, everybody's drunk in the barracks. I mean, that's like he's saying you can't be out here walking around like that. You get stacked up super fast, bro. The hammock really is genius. And you get the set up a hammock so lucky. So I always brought a hammock with me to the field. Maybe only one time ever did I actually have trees with anti-stand to cover the hammock and my pocket. So I just sleep in the mud, bro. Get DOB night routine and the Navy shift after a long day. You're in a boat, you're hunting, rusty corn there. It's like the pocket trying to actually those might be better. Take that up. Oh no, going on it's the Alexa. There's actually not water in the sprinkler, it's just a view behind it that's like go on. We know what's going on. No, they put back to your room and shit to go back to the shower. That is so unkind of it. Actually, it's y'all. What? Back to the shit out of yourself. When you actually just hate your freaking life. Bro, he hates his life. Every time he sees himself in the mirror. I hate me. Yeah, yeah. Meanwhile, meanwhile, oh. Any combatant is hands down the best PT and really nice guy you can ever do. Let me know down below in the comments anything you think that is better outside of deployment and getting into like combat environment. That's better for you. The first time you can learn to be violent, you're fighting, and then you take hands and go, thanks for the training, brother. You'll learn a lot about yourself. Maybe you have blood, that's what he said. Never got my question. Right. She like maybe going to the military.
What?
You know, parachute. Whatever that is, you know, parachute. What is that? What is your idea of parachute? Specialist? I'm a specialist. No. Oh, good. It's on the specialist. Hey, you from all day, bro. You don't know. You don't
I love dying uncomfortable. Yeah, I love dying uncomfortable. Dying uncomfortable so much.
It's not.
I'm like that calculator. I'm not wrong. I'm wrong. I ain't no 14. Yeah, that's not close. Honestly, and I think right now it's stupid, but I know this shit. I think that without this, we'll put it in order. We gotta do this. I think we gotta do this shit in order. You gotta one, you gotta two, you gotta hunt, you gotta two. I'm like, oh, why wouldn't I do the 5 plus 6 and have 7 times and doing it? That's 14. But you wanna do dumbass shit and create a math law and human science and do the first half. We're gonna go to the back of the bus, 4 to 2, and we're just gonna leave the number, and the multiply ain't gonna be there no more. And we're gonna keep the plus and the 5. We're gonna reverse it. Keep doing backwards. Why? It's better sometimes to do yourself in bed. And your mom takes it no. You're so funny. You're great. Did you know you were great? You're on the front line. It's so funny. She doesn't need you. You're never going to meet her. Just going to make you push up that she should. The thing about Hawaiian communication is wild. Wildly accurate. No one goes, I can't wait to get stationed at Schofield Barracks. Oh, you know that. Oh, you want to go buy something? Yeah, more than the trip festival. Yeah, I don't give a don't gonna complain. I would rather be back in Fort home. Give it a week. Give it a year. The VA is nothing though. Looking like, oh well, you're gonna get like a bonus to Hawaii and like travel. It's like, bro, it's like living. It's like staying in California. It's to cover the cost. By the way, guys, you had to learn Ukraine. Imagine dying from a rocket, and the last thing you see is Peter Parker. They're like, what?
Why do I keep getting that?
No. If you're gonna die, have fun dying. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way to do it. Even though the Hogan, taking sold and Hogan and Spider-Man pretty cool stuff. Not gonna lie to you.
Every latest, every dollar earned with Relay. See your cash flow clarified.
Oh, then
ask the girl who I'm working. We like that. We like that. That's nice. Yo, all the soldiers out there who are all the girls out there doing this, is it fun doing it in Mardi Gras, or is it kind of ass? I'm genuinely curious. Because I know doing it may seem like fun on the outside, but sometimes it's just the worst experience ever. Bro, I really, I cannot tell y'all how lucky y'all are to have these national guard up there. If you had active duty service members, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids, we're going to be looking for the shit out of everybody. We would be absolutely raw. I've dealt with some pretty shitty rooms. I know there's way worse places, but that one not gonna fly, bro. You take care of that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna fuck you up with it. You're more respected. How do you have any well, the ceiling is falling in. Bro, I know y'all got black holes. I know y'all got an obsessive boyfriend. No, I don't even know if police can take you guys. Your guys is done. I think you could like an helicopter and drop your head off. Worst parents, bro. They have carpet on the wall. Yeah, no AC either. Hey, bro, what the fuck you want? Listen, we're gonna help. You're gonna send $1 million in real right now. I thought I said big gap. I'm like, there's a big on it, though. Military life. The world is falling. Fuck. I don't give a fuck. We're going the entire movement. We're going the entire movement. I one time left my earrings in, and luckily the gang guard said, like, thank you for the earrings. I was like, first sergeant said, after the Friday and 6 p.m., and then you got to do the inspections after. Lots of money. It's pretty good. Oh, we're just gonna drop on the floor stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're gonna make that. You gotta drop it all in the ocean. The turtles don't have to do the straw. You better fucking play. I'm gonna text Josh today. We had a jet shot down, and apparently it was like a clean, friendly fire. I don't know exactly like why this happened or what the reason was, but apparently they massively fucked up, and somebody had three of them got shot down. Was all three of them friendly fire? There's no way. I know one of them was struck out by friendly fire, but I have no idea. This is one of the most humiliating defeats the United States could ever suffer. Wait, what? What is this person even talking about? What do you mean? Who is this guy talking about? What we just witnessed this weekend. No breath. No breath. Live for it. I might return to what we just witnessed this weekend didn't just shake up the NASCAR Cup Series. It might have completely changed the tone of this entire season. And the wild part, that's only half the story. Because while one driver just made history in a way we have literally never seen before, there's already tension building behind the scenes. And I'm talking real tension. The kind that can turn a rivalry into something much bigger. There are two major stories coming out of COTA right now. One happened on the track, the other, it might be brewing in the garage area. And trust me, both of them matter if you care about this championship battle. But before we break it all down, if you're a real NASCAR fan who lives for this stuff every single week, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to NASCAR Nation Report. We're a new channel. We're pushing toward 5,000 subscribers. And if you love honest, passionate NASCAR talk from real fans, you're in the right place. Now let's talk about what just happened. News number one. And this is the one that's going to be talked about for years. Tyler Reddick just did something no driver has ever done in the entire history of the NASCAR Cup Series. At the Circuit of the Americas, he didn't just win, he survived. He executed. And he beat the one guy everybody thought was untouchable on a road course. Driving the number 45 Toyota for 23 Rigs Racing, the team co-owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin, Reddick opened the 2026 season with wins at Daytona, Atlanta, and now COTA. 3 straight to start the year. No one has ever done that. Not in the modern era, not in the old school era. Nobody. The 23 Essence, they became the first team to win the first 3 races of a season since Petty Enterprises did it back in 1963. Let that sink in. And the craziest part, he had to go through Shane Van Gisbergen to do it. SVG started 13th and carved his way through the field like he always does on road courses. By the end of stage 1, he had worked his way up to 3rd. He and Ross Chastain had short pit, giving up stage points for track position. Chastain actually won stage 1, followed by Van Gisbergen, then Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, BJ Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Carson Hocevar, and Denny Hamlin. Ryan Blaney had shown serious long-run speed early. He ran down Chase Briscoe and took control before strategy flipped everything upside down. Stage 2, that's when it started getting chaotic. Blaney regained the lead during mid cycles. Van Gisbergen restarted 15th with fresher tires. Connor Zilisch spun in turn 1 after contact from Daniel Suarez. Noah Gragson spun between turn 6A and 6B. Josh Berry looped in mid-pack but kept going. Alex Bowman got hit with a pass-through penalty for an uncontrolled tire. Austin Dillon lost major time with a broken shifter. Up front, Reddick took control for the first time since starting from the pole. But with 3 laps to go in stage 2, he pitted from the lead, flipping the stage for race positioning. That allowed Ty Gibbs to win stage 2, followed by Allmendinger, Suarez, Todd Gilliland, Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Blaney, Cole Custer, William Byron, and Van Gisbergen. That right there, championship mindset. Sacrifice short-term points for the long game. Stage 3 is where it got intense. Reddick and Blaney were out front. Van Gisbergen slotted into fifth. Eric Jones spun in the back, but recovered. Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell were beating and banging in a heated battle inside the top 10. Then disaster struck for Chase Briscoe. Something broke in the rear end with 32 laps to go. That decision shaped the finish. Bowman climbed out of the car feeling ill. She spun again in turn 1. Second time that day. Zane Smith got the car out and the team was basically done. Further back, Kyle Busch made contact with teammate Jesse Ross, which sent the future spinning at the exit of the final corner. Up front, it was exactly what we wanted. Reddick versus Van Gisbergen. Bell, on fresh tires, powered his way to third. But he never got to the front, too. SVG closed in. You could see him stalking. You could feel it. Everyone watching was thinking, here it comes. But he never got the run he needed. Reddick held steady, calm, smooth, no mistakes. With 5 laps to go, SVG started to fade. Tire wear maybe, dirty air. Whatever it was, Reddick drove away. He crossed the line nearly 4 seconds ahead. Final top 5, Reddick, Van Gisbergen for Trackhouse Racing, Christopher Bell for Joe Gibbs Racing, Ty Gibbs for Joe Gibbs Racing, and Michael McDowell for Spire Motorsports. Rounding out the top 10, Larson, Elliott, Blaney, Allmendinger, and Hamlin. 95 laps, 2 hours, 58 minutes, and 52 seconds. 3 wins, 3 races. And he said it best, beating SVG on a road course. The guy he's been trying to beat for a while made it that much sweeter. Now, that's where number 2 comes in. Because apparently, not everyone in the garage is just tipping their hat. According to reports from sources close to the paddock, Shane Van Gisbergen allegedly made strong internal remarks questioning Reddick's performance. These weren't public comments. These were reportedly private conversations with team members and close associates. They leaked. What's being claimed? Reddick's car might have an invisible aerodynamic advantage. That the cornering grip looks above normal standards. That the straight line speed seems stronger than expected. That the tire wear is low compared to the rest of the field. There were even references to subtle aerodynamic tweaks that are possibly strategically positioned ballast superior stability on corner exits. Now let me be clear. There is zero official confirmation of anything irregular. NASCAR has not announced an investigation. The 23X nothing formal has happened. These were reportedly private remarks. But the mood in the garage, insiders are saying it's intense. Dominant performance at Coda. There are many expected SVG to control the day. Some people large and under pressure. When someone wins like that, people start looking. Is this frustration from a competitor who just got beat straight up? Or is it genuine concern improvements? As a fan, I'll say this. When you're making history, people are going to question you, especially in the next gen era, where everything is supposed to be so tightly regulated. But unless NASCAR finds something, right now this is just talk. What it does do, though, is brings this rivalry up to another level. Reddick versus Van Gisbergen is no longer just about road courses. It's about pride. It's about legitimacy. It's about dominance. And from a championship standpoint, Reddick is sitting on top of the standings, looking unstoppable. 3 playoff tickets basically punched already. Massive momentum. Confidence through the roof. If this stays clean, we could be watching one of the greatest season starts in modern NASCAR history. If it turns controversial, this could explode into the biggest technical storyline of the year. Either way, the early 2026 season just became must-watch every single week. And as fans, this is why we love it. The racing, the strategy, the drama, the rivalries. So, what do you think? Is this just competitive frustration talking? Or is it something deeper? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you love passionate NASCAR coverage like this, make sure you like the video and subscribe to NASCAR Nation Report. Channel building a real community of hardcore fans, and we're pushing toward 5,000 subscribers. If you're the kind of fan who watches every lap, argues about strategy, and cares about this sport the way we do, you belong here.
I'm gonna do something drastically different. That's pretty nice. I'm gonna do 3 power.
Just set up Microsoft Rewards, then search, play, and shop on Edge, Xbox, Game, and other Microsoft products every day. You'll earn Microsoft Rewards points you can redeem for digital Roblox gift cards. So what are you waiting for? Get started now at rewards.microsoft.com. Parents of all highs. Hey, we are pretty high. See, look, bro, what is Yo, what are we talking about? I've been looking for it. What? Cheating has been an issue in Call of Duty for years, whether it's Warzone or multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
already. I know. I think I want to know what this glass of sorrow might be. This is Honda. And this is Honda. It's this. And also this. They've been robot. Honda is your go-to brand for economical, reliable, and affordable low machines to make your life better without really getting in your way. And while that is true, this is also well, Honda is still in the streets. They are machines. The reason, well, the word is amazing. Amazing is first company to be ready made. What did they have? That die-hard racing Honda for decades with a leading partner in motorsports. But just as the fire started to burn, it was easily snuck out of the boat. The night came to an end, the active sun turned to work. Albums for Honda had become outclassed by European teams. Honda's engineers emerged from the shadow and the heart of Honda. In their hands, they had a machine decades of motoring machine. It taught 30 rounds.
child, Switch rode and fallen in love with automobiles. And as an adult, his passion for the world of machines became an obsession. He studied airplanes, built motorcycles, and had dreams of racing cars. A dream he would never fully realize because just as he started competing, he nearly lost his eye racing a Ford and life. Half his eyesight being taken. Switch rode to build himself an in the world. His childhood obsession was one of the focus pushed him to go to the sun. His dream became reality in 1955. The man's trade and industry created a company that became Japan as most of the 10 million in Brussels competitors. Their goal was to get manufacturers to affordable, no-sticker cars that would give newfound freedoms to Japanese people. As opposed to competitive on-road state, they called it People's Car. Anyhow, Switch rode his team on this set of audience that called, but Joe wasn't in a hurry. He wanted to get it done. So many years later, after very careful consideration and hard work, he found himself for creation. In 1962, upon the investment, started audience that gave rebellion in his order. This organization which was quite more creative. Empowered by perception from the S360 prototype, Hollywood unveiled their new small lineup soon after, which included the T360, a cheap-steel paint truck powered by the engine of the S360. But the S360 itself was missing. Because while the people in Japan were loving the idea that Suichiro wanted Honda cars to be sold around the world, and fittingly, their first rear-wheel drive manual transmission drop-top sportsman. Now, sure, this 500 is a safe, cheap little sports car with a decent first try, but don't tell that to its engine. Under the hood of the S500, everything found in the turn motorcycle connection. With the primordial DNA of motorsport cars such as this one. The 500cc power plant that fizzled away under its tiny little hood was a revolution in design. It was cast lightweight aluminum, where the rest of Japan was still using heavy iron. They had dual overhead cams, four motorcycle cartridges, a 5-speed gearbox, and the Honda signature, a tachometer that went all the way up to 9,500 RPM. In 1962, nothing but a motorcycle or a Formula One engine would go that high. It was the result of honest focus on fun, balanced driving, and of course, racing better. The S500 was also Honda's first great example of how they would build something the way no one else was talking. It was truly a lot of magic in a really small package, And I could go on and on about the Honda S500, but all you need to know is that this was a young futurist vision manifest. It was Honda's first salvo onto the motoring world, unstilted by any expectation. Its edge not dulled by corporate capitalism. The early 60s S500 was clearly the precursor of what was to come. The success of the Honda S500 and its subsequent younger siblings skyrocketed Honda from the world's biggest motorcycle manufacturer to one of the world's best makers in the executive force. When their journey to the top, not how to prepare you now for the new Honda sedan. I gotta make it. And Honda don't need much space on the road. Honda's 6 horsepower reminded the world of the 1960s. But to build these factories and stay afloat as a world-renowned automotive brand, Honda needed more than drop-top feature. They had to make a car for the people, not just the truck. At the time, the old man himself was pretty set in his ways. He had a vision to be a truck brand, but his mission wasn't unlike reality. Sure, Honda was still selling motorcycles, but thanks to allegations of shoddy build quality of their cars, by 1970, Honda's automotive franchise mere inches away from shutting down for good. Luckily, in Honda's stable was a team of very bright and equally stubborn engineers, including John Sebastian and Giovanni Kawamoto, who later lead Honda over now was standing responsible to bring Honda back from the dead and into the TV of motoring history. Kume and Kawamoto butt heads with old man Honda and pushed him to create Honda's first true financial breakthrough. The machine that created a humble, changing bicycle was on this very day. Much to the chagrin of the racing mindset of Switchero, it was practical. Its trapezoidal shape laughed in the face of beautiful racing-inspired design. It was affordable, brand new, and yours for less than $2,000. In a year of men fighting a gorilla, that's less than $15,000. And worst of all, Switchero, it had plenty of room for growth. But even then, Switchero's vision was still in there. Unlike its predecessor, it was buildable. It had disc brakes, a water-cooled engine, which a drive one was to experience up and downs. And most importantly to a Honda, joy. Despite Switchero thoroughly hating it, Switchero on the car and it made the company. The second success was so resounding, Switchero saw that he couldn't have wrong about what the world wanted from cars, and trusted that his team was in good hands. He would stay on to give guidance, but most of the time, he just goes to call. Placing in three huge detail sheets, motorcycle extension, savvy marketing skills pushed Honda to take a bigger piece of the pie in the United States throughout the 80s. After a short time leading Honda, he would pass the reins to the old visionary Tadashi Miike. The main leadership which will make Honda what it is today. Honda had more than double the amount of cars that make and sell every year. Japan's economy is on
Yeah, I wish I was a teenager in the 90s, going into 2000s. I would have had me a Honda Civic for sure.
and the sex. The cars approved to the stuffy Hollywood of the ladies that wanted to butt heads with the world's fastest car and beat them, but in their own way. It introduced the tech revolution, helped launch the Acura brand, and sold its Lindsay Honda to a global audience. Meanwhile, Honda's Formula One engine pushing Harrison Senna to victory, and it was Japan that would take over the motoring world. Honda and its work. Slowly though, and behind it all, tragedy was struck. And the cocaine dust of the 80s settled, the 90s reared its ugly head. I'll die on this. The 80s were so fun. And the 90s, well, let's just take things like this. Hair metal was replaced with hard rock and boy bands. Arnold Schwarzenegger replaced with Paul Short. Snuff Film, the MK, well, and worst of all, Japan sales of cars, especially sports cars, plummeted. In 1990, Yoshikume saw the signs and bounced, leaving his friend Okiko Kawamoto as a successor. And then the clouds on Honda's horizon grew dark. Old man Honda himself, in retirement flying in hang gliders in Amsterdam, passed away and rested his soul amongst the clouds in 1991. Kawamoto had been the former head of Honda's research and development, and he'd been a massive hit at Honda thanks to his revival of the racing program in the 1980s. But now, as leader, he left the pit lanes in Formula One, his foot firmly planted in a plushy chair at Court Gotham. And waiting on his desk were Japanese news articles predicting that Honda was about to be bought out by Mitsubishi. Yikes. Mitsubishi was flush with profits from the successful foray into SUV, and were looking to take over the now struggling Honda. Honda in the early 90s had been flooding with build quality issues, and their lineup was quickly falling behind those of their competitors. It was time to fix that. Perhaps the brand was stretched itself far too wide and too thin. Kawamoto was faced with a difficult task of saving the brand, and his first decision was probably his most difficult. He would kill his pride and joy, Honda's Formula One racing program. Kawamoto would say he was for environmental, because if you remember, the 90s was all about going green, saving the world, recycling, being nice to our planet. Because back then people still believed scientists are the good old days. But I digress.
Captain Planet, bro.
Kawamoto did love the planet, and he wanted to be at the cutting edge of technology and
We come together to save the planet. Let's all come together, Captain Planet. Oh, cheers.
Well, like it or not, as he saved far from his world, you can thank the Cayenne for the Carrera GT, the Ford Explorer for the Ford GT, and yeah, you gotta give it up to the CRV for the 75 car. Okay. And so Honda's team went to work, and by 1995, Honda had a new lineup of vehicles ready to premiere at the Tokyo Motor Show. Walking through their booth, it is seen old man Honda's dream of sporty cars and racing lanes, fading away like characters in a time travel. What tucks in among the reasonable, predictable, and profitable citizens and CRVs was a more optimistic vision. Something uniquely un-Honda, but also, well, the most Honda thing you could imagine. It was gorgeous. Rear-wheel drive, drop top, and you had to tell it what gear to use. It was called SSM, and how the heck did it get in there? Kawamoto's method of saving money was to make the cars the world one. Big, bloated, fuel-efficient free devices that give you and your ugly kids work. Well, he did a wonderful job of that. The water was bouncing spreadsheets and looking at manufacturing efficiencies. On the wall above his desk, we had a photo of the old man Humphrey. Old man Humphrey disappeared. He had from the grave. There he was, just staring at him, those stern, judgmental eyes, reminding him that this isn't what his name is before. What is this living? What is being a car? What is the name of a man? And that man was a producer. The thrust of which are burning. To keep Deutsch from literally haunting him to death, Kawamoto set aside the money for a special project. He had seen that even as the world lost its vote for by smartphones, competitors were still making driver-level machines for those of these guys built into USMR2 in Boston, Ghana. Thomas 95 lineup had no answer. Nothing that revitalized the soul outside of the wildly specified sex.
Couldn't work.
The
Nice.
council of Colorado
Hope you adjourn.
was probably just twiddling his thumb and bored after designing a masterful out of sex, and then being told no one wants sports cars. Kawamoto gave you a small budget and full protection for the market first. And told him to make something. Old man Humphrey. Yuhara's idea wasn't an original idea as that. It would be a sequel.
That's up there.
After the first car Honda ever made. It's the same way to make the first one. 30 years later, with all the knowledge they acquired from these cars, racing them and shocking the world out of the box. Yukihara planned to be a modern sports car. This time, though, the item is faster, and he thinks it's a Honda way. The weird way. And to Honda's first production back in 1971, the tiny N-160 engine was incredibly advanced with twin camshafts and a roller bearing crane, which allowed it to rev to 8,000. And the S2000 followed that high-tech tradition. Now look, I may be honest with you all. Growing up as a car guy, a drifter, and a racing fan, I didn't really have a lot of love for Honda. You might feel the same, but you're wrong. I sure was. In my defense, with their tiny little engines, low horsepower efforts, and front-wheel drive, I really didn't get it. The cars were just like sports cars, they were just passenger cars. But that all changed. A few years ago, I was broke and kind of done with sports cars. So I gave in and bought the littlest, silliest car I could, a Honda Fit. And that's overnight. I fell in love with it. Like, love. It was cute, but it drove with ferocity. It is the engine was laughable on paper, but when your blood landed in that steam, you were never wanting for more power. Owning it like a towel, it was made extremely well. It was comfortable, versatile. And of all the cars I've ever owned, it's probably up at the top of the cars that put a smile on my face every single time I drove it. That car, I learned what real, clever engineering can do for me the most comfortable vehicle. And in owning that cute little Honda Fit, I learned one unusual fact. Honda doesn't give a f*** they do whenever they think it's right. They usually hit. They're essentially the Nintendo of the car world. You tell them making their little products their own way, seemingly ignoring what everyone else is doing. Going against design and engineering norms, only to just challenge themselves. The result are quirky little cars get to drive to enjoy. Vehicles that work for you, not against you. Machines that once you own them, you fall in love with them. Because the Honda car magic is why they were in your story to tell. The NSX's existence is just absurd. Honda's 1980s come all around as a world-class car. Expensive exotic with only over-the-top styling, sports car with huge turbos chasing ever higher horsepower numbers. You have a team riding Toby's nuts. Hell, they even made a chart. Then they threw all that in the trash and made a car their own way. And what they made was perfect. It wasn't powerful like a Ferrari. It wasn't a sculpture of male security like a Lamborghini. It didn't rely on cheap three-point turbos or wide formula. They used engineering and a little sprinkle of magic. It was a really fast, really well-made Honda. If the world needed it, from the F-100 to the Honda Fit, the Tegra, Pacific Type R's, and even the Ridgeline, Honda doesn't make anything the way you expect them to. And so, when Kawamoto wanted to make a new sports car, one that represents the vision Honda has carried for decades, Kawamoto knew UPR had to be free to make his car his own way. By now, Shigeru Uehara had kind of developed a system. Like the NSX before, with his graph of performance targets, this new project began with a chart of the world's top sport cars. But rather than exotics, they focused on the machines that were pure driving technology. The Carriage 7, the Mazda Miata, looked like a bomb. Proper wind in your hair, smile on your face, sports car. And of course, no project at Honda could be real if it wasn't involved in or inspired by Formula One. For the SSM concept, though, we were focused specifically on the 60s era of Formula One, that wild, dangerous part of Formula One history, rather than the industry team of Honda when they finished the original S500. Called SSM, or Sport there for study. It wasn't really meant to create a car and want to see what showrooms. But it's not intentional. They knew that making sport cars was bad for the 90s. But we just knew Kawamoto and the team at Honda had high hopes that the world of fun cars would return. So they planned ahead, designing a sports car for the future. The future they thought would be brighter and more fun. And thank God they were right. Uehara's vision of a futuristic cutting-edge successor to the S500 was a vehicle that focused on saving weight. How does this world engineering? Plastic proportions, of course, that Honda's team thought. Making a crankshaft spin really, really fast. To really make this sports car suit flavorful, though, they would need a little Italian spice. When the long run university stop, harder than the church. Where we was, wherever you did, one of these first versions now, because with all in mind, virtually no time, wrong. You can still look at wrong legendary. Wrong Series 9 Pro Plus, 84 stroke, wrong takes 5. Getting close has never felt so comfortable. Wrong, and by design. How many ideas do you get from Formula One performance? Do you use a lot of that technology in your design for the street cars? Technology, I try to use as much as I can. In design, I would say it's not going to be Formula One. You don't have to go around scientific that my idea is to combine science and aesthetics. By now, if you've watched enough of my videos, you'll have realized that they're all connected. Well, this one's easy. The brand that runs this story is one of the most important companies in the automotive world. You definitely know the name. They designed all of the beautiful Italian supercars in one. But what you may not know is, on a few occasions, they've made a little trip to Japan. The first one was in 1984. Brilliant. Back then, Honda and its brands styled them up in the most out-of-the-box, out-of-this-world sports car concept of the future. And it's called the HPX. The HPX was one of the most striking and unique concept cars they'd ever made. It was a classical wedge-shaped supercar. It did nothing the way you expected. Yeah, but Honda its design is starting to make the NSX. And slowly, the SSX concept is partnerships across the globe. That's Italian design and Japanese engineering. That really needs to happen now. And Frito worked with Honda's lead designer, okay, so just bring together what they saw as the future of sport from Blitz, the two-speed roadster, no fun. Bureaucrats hear your ass long notes, and of course, why are the weird design choices? Because concept comes. Most notably, in the SSM, the driver passenger was separated by a center, giving the driver the experience of being in a Formula One car that is what it was, but also this design promised enhanced chassis rigidity and better handling, which is usually lacking in roadsters and drop types. The result was great, and again, it was 1995. This 2000 was released for 4 years. But even when it came out in 1999, its design was ahead of its time. The SSM was on a limb. More than 10 vehicles, its twin brother, the Argento Vivo, showed a very similar face, but of course, the Vivo reason the Brito was more relative or Italian. It had the same other things in the SSM, but was treated with wood, leather, and bigger, dustier Italian lines. These two cars had the same show the same year, and their best Honda had a vision for the future, and it was a very solid future. Their concept car stole the show. Press speculation was all over the place. The underwhelming NSX was immediately known. But this driver-focused SSM and elegant Vivo suggested to the general public that the NSX's replacement had arrived. Kawamoto and Hikaru, it was hard to sell ultra-expensive, ultra-fast cars, no matter how well balanced and well engineered they were, if they came with a Honda badge. So this wouldn't be the NSX's replacement. It was its own brother. Wonderful time, George. A special day. And nice cold. Thankfully, from the scouts out, feeling kind of like it. And scratch off New York has Stu Bell. This is very annoying. Extremely annoying for Stu. Of course, they're doing this is after the fight. After Val has won the lawsuit against the Rothschild company. That was a patent control company. On February 25th, 2026, the multi-million-dollar world of Counter-Strike is a major problem. Attorney General Letitia James has officially filed a massive lawsuit against us. I was going to arrest her. What after that? Yes, of New York is alleging that Bell is running a slot machine like operation that has lured billions of teenagers into illegal, unregulated gambling. They're kind of right. I mean, like, CSGO is a slot machine gambling thing, but the problem is that I don't want to see regulations for CSGO gambling when you don't have regulations for polymorphic and Call of Duty, when you don't have regulations for other types of gambling. So how is it that these other companies can operate with basically impunity, but for some reason you're going to go after Steam uniquely? And if anything, I would say that Steam is the least like that, because at least the items that you get have value and they can be resold. That's a big fucking difference than betting and then having your money be vaporized. For Attorney General, has paid billions of dollars by having children adults alike illegally gamble for prices. These figures are addictive, harmful, and illegal. New York would say she's a retard, and this is painting with such a broad brush that it would apply to about 40% of every single video game if you went after them on that context. Like every gotcha game would be categorized that way, Vivo would be categorized that way.
like every game that had a loot box experience can be categorized that way. They're like Pokemon cards, exactly. Like this is them going after Valve. I don't know why they're doing this for them especially. Because I don't see the logic that like how is it that Polygon is already worth the focus and Valve is instead? Which by the way, my opinion is that neither should be the focus. If people want to gamble their money away, that's natural selection. You're an idiot and that's what you get. As a case, $1 billion equality could be changed forever. Today, we are breaking down the official violation. This focus got evidence of things have been sold out. Why your inventory might be the crosshairs. Understand why this lawsuit is different from the ones fell in the past. If you look at how the OAG is defining the game, they aren't calling it a tactical shooter anymore. It's selling the most popular game. The process with them was a slot machine with an animated spinning wheel that eventually rests on a selected item. It's not a spinning wheel, number one. It's like a ticker line. And number two, that's not even true to begin with. It's a shooter game that has this as a component that some people do. It's just so dishonest. It's unbelievable. Your argument that those clauses violate the state's laws because they meet the three criteria for gambling: what's right, chance, and prize. Okay, so then what about Pokemon cards? What about baseball cards? What about Genshin Impact? Like, what about everything else? Like, this is just such a bad argument. It doesn't make sense. You pay for a key, which is the price. The item is determined by an algorithm. The chance and the result is a virtual item with significant value, which is the price. But here's where it gets dangerous for Go. It's a path Go argues is the worst market. Go is firing back by 22 to 2024 sales of a single
It's
game
not weak.
that is for over $1 million. The randomly selected virtual items have no in-game functionality. Like the functionality of these be sold online for money, with one item reportedly being sold for more than $1 million. By highlighting that these items have zero functional use, like a massive cash value, the state is stripping away the use just a game cosmetic. So much better. Well, on the other hand, the capital CD, they are the trail. If you're ready for a more money experience, come see us today. We have the selection you need to find just the right solution. It's that one process and incredible savings make you feel good about your purchase. Plus, your current vehicle is worth more now than ever. Trade in and trade up today. Buy a little, save a lot. Come see us at Source Online for capital CD. They are getting the trail where it's all. That's true. That is true. And these items that digital receivers and more interestingly, those seems to have seen the writing on the wall. Over the past year, we've seen Bell quietly making systematic changes to their case systems and reward structures, like the introduction of the armory or even the Genesis terminal. These moves appear to be a strategic attempt to move away from the rules box model towards a more transparent system. It looks like Valve has been trying to future-proof their revenues because they knew a legal problem was inevitable. But according to York, these changes are just too little, too late. For years, Valve get out of jail free work was the Steam community market. They claimed that because you couldn't cash out directly to a bank account from Steam, it wasn't no gambling. New York is actually calling the rule on that. The lawsuit alleges that Valve doesn't just allow third-party sites, it facilitates them. The only the problem that I have with this is that you have like how is it you can have sports betting in the NBA game, and you have children watching the NBA game. You can have Poly Market and Call Sheet being advertised alongside CNN, but you can't sell and buy that are purple. Like there's no logic here, right? There's no consistency because if you had consistency, you would have all three of these things would either be legal or illegal. Like that's it.
But is it about meeting logic?
Well, if the government's not going after this, like yeah, I think it is. You could say that it's speeding logic that well just because they're doing it wrong doesn't mean other people aren't too. Yeah, that's fine. But do you really think this is being done in good faith? I mean, I don't think it's being done in good faith. Absolutely not.
That self facilitates.
There's also a degree of scope. Like, what do you think is bigger, like CS:GO market or comic or sports betting? Like, if you're going after a mole mill and you're ignoring the mountain,
Even third-party marketplaces and their operations. These arguments that might allow the users to connect their valve accounts to metal sites. Items are sold directly for cash, though is essentially providing infrastructure for a global unregulated casino. Attorney General Gates sees the high value of Counter-Strike's players and ease of liquidating items through third-party marketplaces.
I hate to say this, but this is probably like this is not look good for Valve. If they go after this, there's a good chance they might lose on this.
Have made those virtual items and a job target for these machines limiting the gambling to broader cycle of crime, including the hundreds of thousands of support requests those received from users. These accounts for the eyes of the whole. If the system is so liquid that you can turn a skin into rent money in just a few minutes, it's seen as a currency. And if it's a currency, that means it would be gambling. But you might be wondering why is New York choosing now? It seems to be a part of their much larger war on the data act. The lawsuit leans heavily on the protection of minors. Research cited in the filing shows that children who are introduced to gambling are 4 times more likely to develop a gambling problem later in life than those who are not.
That's the exact reason why they keep trying to find new avenues to engage children into gambling. It's because if you can get them hooked early, then you can get them addicted for a long period of time. Actually support this 100%. I don't like the fact that like you guys know how I feel about loot boxes and everything. Like I think that the video game industry would be better without loot boxes and without gotcha. It would be better. It would be more player friendly and it would be a better industry. But there are two factors that I think come into that. Number one is why is it that the user is not able to make a decision with their money, right? You have two consenting adults that are choosing to do something with their money and with their service. Why is it that you have a legal right to tell them no? I think that's a huge factor. And number two, I find this to just be incredibly circumstantial considering the amount of protections for sports betting in the last 7 years have just gone away and away and away. And now you have prediction markets coming into the market as well that are also effectively gambling, and that's okay with them. So it doesn't make sense to me that you would go after Valve with this comparatively small market of CS:GO stuff, and this is a worldwide market, but you wouldn't go after sports betting, which is being distributed to children constantly in places like ESPN and also through FIFA in some cases, right? And I don't know about FIFA as much to be fair. And or NBA, right, or anywhere else. And if you're not going after them, and you're also not going after prediction markets, and you're not regulating them first, it seems like it's just like circumstantial, opportunistic, or there's something in play here that I don't understand. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't like it. Internet gaming as a whole, yeah.
Which is often explained about is intentionally luring teenagers. Some users with limited funds can be enticed to start gambling through boxes with the hopes of obtaining a virtual item that they believe will enhance their status in the game's virtual world.
That's true.
Teaching Games has already been aggressive, tweeting fights against Meta and TikTok for addictive needs. This lawsuit just seems like the next step, but she didn't stop at gambling. The Attorney General also took a shot at the content of the game.
And I'm going to say also, like, this is going to be maybe like a big picture opinion, but I really don't like the idea that this stuff is being regulated and disallowed when the state runs lotteries. I don't like that. I don't. I think it's just like it's so obviously transparently if this is bad, it would be bad when everybody does it. Like I see people like I go to the gas station, like there's a lot of people that are doing gambling, like all the gas stations that I go to regularly, maybe like the top like probably five. Like three out of those five, there are people gambling at those gas stations non-fucking stop. They're doing this all the time. And so the idea that this is some sort of like it's like if you're gambling, I don't view it as like a morally good thing, regardless of whether it's regulated or it's sanctioned by the state or not. I think that like if you die and you talk to Saint Peter or Jesus or Allah, whenever you go to fucking heaven and you say, oh well, I was only really gambling for the state and it wasn't for like a private company. Like I don't think that any of them would say, oh okay, understandable, please come into heaven now. Like it's very clearly a morally bad thing to do, regardless of whether it's sanctioned by the government or not. And so I don't really see like I don't see them having like a moral or ethical foundation to go after these gambling companies. I don't at all. And like maybe this is unfair for me to say, or it's like too high-minded or like virtue signaling for me to say this. But like that's actually what my opinion on it is. Like, I think it's a universally, like it's an indisputably morally bad thing to do that they're creating shades of gray in that don't actually exist.
That glorify violence is gun. Those feel an epidemic of gun violence, particularly among young gamers who can become
2004 again.
to great violence.
And this is another problem that I have is that these people are approaching it with like such a stupid perspective. To the extent that they get it right, it's purely a coincidence.
Things are slowly developing. While this legal case is about gambling, we are also pushing hard. This makes the lawsuit much harder to settle quickly. They want disgorgement of ill-gotten gains, building permanent stop to these features. So if you're a CSG player, trader, or just someone who just follows, this is where you might be wondering, well, what actually happens next? As well, we could see regional locking. We've already seen this in places like Belgium and the Netherlands, where you might be forced to
Belgium and the Netherlands have like they have the strictest laws rules in any Western country. I'm not familiar with other countries like China and like what their rules are, but I know inside of the Western countries, it's Belgium and the Netherlands that are the most aggressive and most consumer friendly with these practices.
able to open entirely for New York. Depending on how serious this gets and how well tasted, if the court finds that third-party sites are facilitated by Bell, they may be forced to adjust the API and allow those sites to function. So if New York, we could see other states like California or Illinois follow up.
So you're going to see every company change their policies based off of it. It's the same as like how every website now bans you from being under 13. It's because of a legal requirement for not following and collecting data on people under 13. It's called FABA.
For over 10 years, Bell has operated in a legal gray area, but the state of New York is no longer playing games. Attorney General James is seeking to permanently stop Bell from continuing to promote the legal media in its aims to pay disgorgement and fines. This is one of the most significant legal threats to Bell we have seen in a long time, and we could see some major changes because of it. As the Attorney General put it, illegal gambling can be harmful and lead to serious addiction problems.
I don't see how I don't like what I don't understand is that illegal and legal gambling are addictive. It's like if you make illegal cigarettes or you're making moonshine that you're technically not allowed to do, and you become an alcoholic from that. It's like both of these people and the ones that become alcoholics from like liquor that you can buy at a store, they're both alcoholics. Like, I think it's not state control. Exactly. Like I don't understand this.
Like often is straight to stop those illegal conduct and protect these workers. But I want to hear from you. Do you know is that both your agencies and consequences if you want to stay updated on this brand new case against Rome. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, I watch Water Seasons videos a lot about valve. He covers all the valve stuff that happens. And like I can see like the problem with these being mad about this is that I know that they actually do have a point with this where like CSGO skins and everything. I mean, it's like you're doing the fighting, right? And I think everybody should be honest about it. Is CSGO skin the least unboxing is this game? I think absolutely. It's not even.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially at yeah, we all have that one day pretty much the life or mind trusting it. Make a move and let success follow you. Turn one day into day one. One day is also stop one day. And yeah, well, because it's not the oil, it's not. Again, I'm over here there last week, Friday, for a touchdown. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially at Washington. That is terrifying. The last place, all of these balconies and rooftops and all that. That's crazy. I'm risking my life for content. And according to latest fall out this week, U.S. clashed an Israeli joint venture where they blindsided Iran from the first over the night is now Iran is retaliated by striking back at Israel, all of its neighboring allies that have U.S. military bases in the country. Isn't it crazy? On the timing of all this, like we just had the Epstein files being released, well, the ones they wanted to release anyway, the edited version, but the timing and everything it's just crazy. I don't know if it's been done, but man, what was in those files? I guess we're never going to know, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's been or not? And of course, we want to announce a GTA 6 finally launches on November 9th. Wow. I mean, in Texas, right song. Another person said, I know it's fairly wrong. So, yeah, I think we can bring GTA 6 is just for me at this point. I don't, personally. Another person said, your 20s are going to be the best years of your life. And quote, these are your 20s. I'm pretty gone. I'm pretty gone. Yeah, that's not true. This is the time like that we're in. We have some other footage of that I really get from that show very popular air monster for the Paul Hotel. Why for reference he was the hotel and now it's not on fire. Yeah. So what he done. It's the innocent people that fall into this. One thing is what are we doing? Why innocent people being killed for other people's decisions and pushing buttons behind burn doors? It's the back. Yeah, clearly it's wrong. And why? That's just maybe another angle. And another thing, one person said, why are these charging civilians so long together? Well, this person. Well, I think it's because most people don't want to see innocent people getting killed. And this stuff, people are struggling as it is. Paying bills, paying taxes, going to work every day. Cost of living's going up, groceries, gas, everything. People are struggling. The last thing people want and need is a good bill going up. Number three, we started. We just did our a Israeli strikes elementary girls school in Iran to Milan for Al Jazeera and IRA. Five students killed. Someone said, how do you even justify this? Which terror is hiding in a girls' school in Iran? People are sick, these reality and responded back by saying, I get what I'll say. Israel has the right to defend. People now say you attack first, so it's not defense. You don't have a right to insist. Another person says shut me back up. Then go defend yourself. Stop in a situation. Another person says you do it without American soldiers. What a crazy time we're in. We're talking and discussing raging war well. That's crazy. Another person going viral right now for retweeting attack Iran first. Then
Topic
say
rooms.
they have the right to defend themselves, which is hilarious. I mean, how do you attack somebody first? Right. That's a perfect example for that. Still bad though. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, that was a falling yeah, that's box. Second largest city of Tel Aviv. Stay with me. You grab my desk. Just stay with us. Trader here in Tel Aviv. This got a couple of weeks ago. Was what we talked about end state and all that stuff, and then a few weeks ago, he's putting on the list, and then bonfire is going on. Time is just moving quick. Jacob, where the blackjack is there, tires are raining across Tel Aviv. Tires are running across trains. So at this point in time, Iran was launching missiles past the ice boat. There's two of them right now soaring through the skies over Tel Aviv. You can see those lines of white smoke, and those are the interceptors that are currently in the air right now, looking to intercept the incoming Iranian ballistic missile fire. You see, this is live right now as their sirens sounded. Millions of people across central Israel are in bomb shelters as the Israelis work to shoot down the. You guys have written that true. I've heard from different sources that Cyprus got hit. See, Bruce Spacey's there. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe you guys know. You know about that. So that's great. This incoming Iranian fire. And for those of you who are curious, this is how Israel's Iron Man defense actually looks. Yes. So you see all those pieces that are being intercepted. Yeah, most of them are intercepted sometimes. What it does, this is what happens. Reportedly, this is from today. Apparently, this is the area of Israel. Caused quite a bit of damage. Yeah. So, of course, they already know it's not been finished. Most of the damage is caused inside something. There's to be some residential moments. I know I keep saying it, but the timing of everything just I don't know if it's a coincidence, but especially I know keep mentioning the extinct stuff. I know a lot of people are saying the same thing to me. What the hell is in those files? That's all I'm thinking. Oh yeah, this case. Someone got caught. We now have to force the files down life from thousands and thousands of years and now stranded as you can see. So regular people fall over, stranded because of a war that's going on now. Yeah, a friend of mine is there right now. He's thing. He's got better. He did not see that one coming. Some of the conversation said, imagine traveling on a holiday trip and being trapped in chaos and that's the privilege and luxury that people in the West have had decades. They'll be really happy to be doing something or maybe a public stranded in Dubai. However, Iran's military about said, dear Americans, your president is messing up and Trump. This is what someone that in the comment section said, we know either side is being. This is not my another person said, well, you were right. President to be voted for, president to be maybe have someone just like an idiot or seem to be celebrated. Celebrated. Forgot that. Iran, not the best place you want to be in. You are a woman once ultimate freedom. And I'll tell you your life. Iran also said, let the world know that we denounce terrorism. And of course, President Trump came out announcing that we are now in a long-minute video.
Iran, our objective is to protect the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian.
There's my wife and stuff that's going on. We're still going to go to work tomorrow and pay our rent, pay groceries, pay taxes. This is the last thing we need, you know. And I just hate to see it. I hate to see innocent people fall victim to this. I really do. And not just women celebrating. I get they don't like the country and the way it's functioned and the foundation of it and all that is bad, but I don't know, man. There's people being killed around the world. I know that celebrating is the right move, you know, but let me know what you guys think.
Vicious, brutal, very hard, terrible.
If you want to watch the rest of this video, you say this long, it is not the president's personal account. But someone responded back by saying, if you can't afford rent, you can't afford groceries, you can't afford however it is, hey guys, if you get the job, the country is literally well to work, have a solution, bomb Iran, and start World War III. Nobody asked for this, not one person. If he doesn't want to live, but it's going to be a charge strike in Iran, someone living below the track. Why are we standing there, man? Come on, man. Why? I will not be anywhere near about this. Absolutely insane. What is over there for you? Much you guys, a lot of these videos are coming straight out of coming for all videos. So you're pretty much the first to be an angle of Iranian drone strike. But so this drone is called a SUCI. Drone. You can spell that out here. You can't say it's for obvious reasons, but the problem with these specific types of drones is that they're pretty cheap to make. I ran a lot of them, and in order to count one, they have to use multi-million-dollar investments. That would be worth using on a $20,000 drone like this. Why do the U.S. is reality is allies and themselves? Someone said 1946 or the Middle East, 1956 or the Middle East, 1966 or the Middle East, 1976 or the Middle East, 1986 or the Middle East, 1986 or the Middle East, 2006 or the Middle East, 2016 or the Middle East, 2026 or the Middle East. It's just like we can't get out the Middle East. And you just got us like you're stuck in this endless perpetual nightmare of a dream. Or we can never leave the Middle East. You can't afford for this. Someone who's going to be comfortable about it. Not a space station in the top. And he also built it down. I can't go in. Just be glad that you guys live in the Middle East. You don't have to experience any of this unless you were to specifically travel to go to Portland so that Iranian drone that is basically the airport awaits, as you can see, lots and lots of bandits chasing after you. Not a military base, not a law enforcement base, or anything of the U.S.'s real allies. Why the swinging at night? Why? Why the schools, airports, residential areas? Why are they getting attacked? I don't get it. I've never understood it. Why are we still doing this? If people want to fight wars like that, if people decide to do it, let them go and do it. You must hate that country. They must hate that country that much. don't celebrate. I don't know. I find it weird. Yeah, there's innocent children, women, men, people dying, and people are celebrating. They're that happy that that's going on. I don't know. The stage here celebrating more. I don't understand more days in these movies. I don't understand it. Like, you guys not really think about this. Like I said during the video, all this timing, everything is crazy. You know, like I said during the video, in fact, the HD stuff come out, and then it seems like fast forward a week or two, and now we're potentially going into World War III for all these women in it. Everything's happening so quick. We find out that a lot of the people that are running the show are PDF files and we're paying tax for it, and then now we've got a war going on, and it's all happening so quick. But the Trump video that he posted about all this, I want to give that a watch. So let's move on to that.
United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. These menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. embassy in Iran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out Marine barrack bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels and international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen, from Syria to Iraq, the regime is armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guns. And with Iran's proxy Hamas and launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was something like the world was never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It's only through the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again, they can never have a nuclear weapon. That is why in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Bordeaux, Natanz, and Isfahan. After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it, but didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions.
and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe through stations overseas and could soon reach the American homeland. Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as they mean to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We're going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. Very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon. This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close with power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost.
I kind of wanted to interrupt, if I interrupted too much, but I did want to mention, we've seen all these protests going on in the last few years. All these people that hate the government, they hate Trump, they hate the police, they hate the military. Any sort of reform measures put in place, they hate it, they hate these people. But now they're being real quiet. Now this stuff is going on, the same people, I've seen them. The very same people are now saying that they want forces to be there to protect them, to save them. They really, now the stuff is hit the fan, they're all going back on it now. Well, a lot of them are. Now all of a sudden, they like the police, they like Trump, they like the military. You can't make these people up.
They have casualties that often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now, we're doing this for the future. And it is a noble mission. We pray for every I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have your home. It's very dangerous to find bombs everywhere. When we are finished taking over your government, it will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance in generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close
This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of American Armed Forces. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless you all. Thank you. Wow. The crazy times we are living in at the moment. It just seems like when one thing comes, another thing shows up. Man, Iranian high school students are cheering and chanting "I love Trump." Yikes, man. I don't really know what goes on. A lot of time in other countries, you know, we're all pretty busy within our own places and our own lives, families, and whatnot. But it seems like a lot of these people, the videos I've seen, are pretty happy with what's going on. That they're going to capitalize on the opportunity that the government will be overrun and they can change the way things are. That's what it looks like to me. I still stand on the ground of, innocent people being killed is never a good thing. I mean, even if the conclusion is things get better in a country, I mean, innocent people more victims to it. It's never a good thing. I think a lot of these world leaders and these politicians and these elites, if they really want to have a war, get them the flipping guns, send them to an open field and let them sort it out with them. But attacking innocent people, the civilians, the children, and I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Let me know what you guys think, though. Stay safe out there, wherever you're at. Stick by each other, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Whether you're a landscaping pro or a team of day riding, don't get wrong. Southern States has you covered. A Democrat lawmaker is breaking ranks with her party over the U.S. Israeli strikes on Iran, saying that her own party needs to wake up and take over the dislike of President Trump here. Understand this here, guys. I've been saying this for a while now. If you want to actually get more people to your side, to your cause, and believe that you actually have the best interests of the United States of America, then you're going to have to get over the dislike of Trump and start focusing on the actual needs and demands of the American public.
I think that it is imperative the Democratic Party wake up and get past their dislike of Donald Trump, President Trump, and
It's a joke. I like it a lot.
oh geez.
My cousin Ray. Welcome back to Future League Football. I haven't played this week, so I'm going to be a little rusty. We're 0-2 on.
What do you know about each one?
I have a lot of like younger family members, like millennials that are on.
What do you know about each one?
I have a lot of like younger family members, like millennials that are on this right now that are from India. But I don't really know like specifics or anything. I just kind of heard talking about it.
Okay. And what kinds of things are they doing? Think about the United States and think about computers and software development, Microsoft, Google, AI right now, about everything that is the tech revolution in the United States.
Yeah.
Built it.
Have I get some for that?
Well, you think, go back to Silicon Valley, look around, what do people look like? You want to stay here, you want to go to the US, so that's just going to pay you more, but that's not true anymore, man. Chinese companies are starting to, they're competing with y'all. And like, this H-1B issue, this is the secret weapon of the United States. You guys got that? So our immigration policy also needs to solve climate change and determine how AI impacts the job market.
Yeah, make sure you guys take account of that, all right? How would you decide how many workers we need? How many actual, like, who do you think we should let in the country?
I don't know if I have like an educated answer for that. I don't really know much about like.
Well, who do you know about? Were your parents go to college?
Yeah, but my parents have different skills.
Did they come here with master's degree?
Yeah, my dad goes to
Okay, and so did that help them to get in?
Yeah.
Hold the mic, hold the mic.
They came here on work visas, so
Okay.
they already like was that and stuff.
And then they applied for green cards.
Yeah.
Residency as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you were born here?
Yeah, I was born in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Okay, so but let's imagine you're in control. What do you want?
I guess people that will contribute like positively to whatever jobs that they might want to do. I don't know, like I guess if we have like a shortage of a certain type of like worker or job or whatever, then we want people coming in that would be good at like that.
So you ever hear of like what do you know about nurses from the Philippines?
That they're like really good at their jobs.
And there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's like a pipeline of young women from the Philippines nursing. You heard that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. How about H-1B visas? What do you know about H-1Bs?
I have a lot of like younger family members, like millennials that are on those right now that have come from India. But I don't really know the specifics right now. I just think my parents talking about it.
Okay. What are they? What kinds of things are they doing?
Just kind of know if I don't really know much about it. It's not like
You ever been to Silicon Valley?
yeah, I have family.
Okay. And when you go around Silicon Valley, what's the majority of people look like me or look like you?
I guess it's not that surprising. Like both my parents are in like IT and stuff, so
Yeah.
most of my family is. So yeah, it's not like that surprising. A lot of my like Indian friends are in CS and engineering. Like, kind of what I know.
Okay. And are they like smart?
Yeah,
The family push math.
yeah. I can't really. I was a sociology major, so that's like technically not my thing. But yeah, first like I guess I have a family like Cambridge and stuff for me.
Think about the United States. Think about computers, software development, Microsoft, Google, AI right now. About everything that is the tech revolution in the United States.
Yeah.
Help it.
How many has looked for that?
Well, what do you think? Go back to Silicon Valley. Look around. What do people look like?
There's a lot of
Lots of people from outside the U.S.
there's a lot of like first and second generation.
Okay, and H-1B visas, how important do you think they were?
Like pretty important.
Why? Explain to the class what as best you can, like your relatives who are coming here on H-1Bs, like
Yeah.
what are they? Explain to them why that's important.
Well, I know an H-1B visa is like a work visa, and I don't know if this is like how it works or if it's just a coincidence with my family, but like they're all in software or engineering or like some type of IT work.
And they're smart.
Yeah, like incredibly smart.
Okay, and the like really smart Indians.
Yes.
And really not so smart Indians. Where are they? Are they getting H-1Bs?
No.
Okay.
It's like really hard to get one.
Okay.
What I've seen.
You gotta be talented.
Yeah.
See, this is like the people they say that like people make statements like Mexicans are such hard workers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been to Mexico, man. There's a lot of Mexicans that don't work very hard. They're all in Mexico. Hard workers, they come here, H-1Bs. Okay? Same thing, they're hard to get. They're not going to the dumb people, they're going to wealthy people. Businesses pay money.
Yeah.
For them, right?
Yeah.
And now Donald Trump just raised the price of the H-1B. It used to be like $2,000. Now
they might be raised it to $100,000.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I mean, I think that's kind of insane because like $100,000.
Look at it.
Well, yeah, but it's just like it's gonna make it even harder than it already is to get those.
But why do you want those? Because they see people out here are saying like, yeah, but we don't want those workers here. So the issue is they're thinking, well they're going to take these engineers and science majors. So they're going to your family members who are coming over here on H-1Bs are going to take our jobs.
I don't think that companies would be wanting so many people to come here on H-1Bs to their company if they didn't want smarter people than they have.
She said it. Right? She said it. You know, here, let me show you. Go to the next slide. That's the worse than that. Look where the U.S. is. And you know what holds us out? You want to know like why we're not at the bottom? You know why we're not like in the purple? Not from you, by the way, because you're a sociologist. But it's like, well, how are you? It's all awful. That's why your parents let you major in sociology. They didn't. So here's the problem. Why do you think Silicon Valley happened? You got a bunch of Americans who don't like math. And not only do you not like math, but like you don't have to really work at math. You don't have to go to cram school. You don't have to go. You know what I mean? Like Koreans, we'll talk about this, but China, Korea, India. You go to school all day long, and then after school, you go to an academy, and you just get more and more crammed into you, more math. You're not good at that, but then you're going to have to go on Saturdays and Sundays and study math. And you just do it again and again and again. And so your scores are really high. I mean, that's kind of what it is. But here we don't have that. Immigrants built that. You know what I mean? I get some of you guys, you're here, you do, some of you are in engineering and outside, you're really, really smart. Okay. You're really smart. But everybody else, Sadhana and we can go to India and we can pick up the smartest. You got 1.4 billion people in India. Trust me, we will find 10 really brilliant people for every one of you who's really brilliant. We'll find them. You got the most brilliant in here, we'll find 10 in India. We'll bring them over. That's how it works, dude. That's how it works. Silicon Valley got built on the backs of immigrant labor. The smartest of the smart. Which means that we host. Think of how if all these Indians, all these Chinese, all these Koreans, all these people, if they had stayed home and contributed to their own building their own economy, like right now, lots of Chinese aren't even coming because China's in a tech boom right now, and we used to be able to bring all these Chinese workers over, and they're not coming. Or like some of you who are Chinese, bro, are you guys engineering major? Wait. Any topic. It's just not like jeez. It's not obvious.
Are you telling me I'm not good? And you're telling me I'm not black? So what am I?
I think really that I'm a black Jew.
People power is a black girl and
People, black and Jewish people often say that they won't use the right. Well, for me, I'm Jewish, and they try to discount my Jews because I'm black. Our community is fragile. At the end of the day, each other more than ever. This is the time to not divided. The how we see life is within you. You don't need classmates. You get paid for your time.
and they did work to scratch out the feeling ever wanted to.
Scratch out clothes. Do you want to go? You want to stay here? Or do you want to go back to China?
Well, stay here. My parents immigrated to your house.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. How about you? You want to go whatever makes you more? Okay, got it. And in the past,
he's gonna be here. He's gonna you want to stay here. You want to go to the U.S. because that's just gonna pay you more. But that's not true anymore, man. Chinese companies are starting to they're competing at a new level, y'all. And like, this H-1B issue, this is the secret weapon of the United States. Secret weapon. How is that, man?
I don't know. Like again, I don't really have any experience with it. Like personally, because I mean, I was like always working with you with PBA on these, and like, I know that they did struggle with like visa issues and stuff when I was a lot younger, but it's not really something that they talked about. I guess just not to worry me and my brother, but yeah, there was never any like discussion of until it was time for like green cards and stuff. Because I was born here, but my older brother was born in India, and so when it came time for like green cards and stuff, that was a huge discussion just because there was a lot that he needed to do.
Yep. But your parents have that tech background. That's
how
they got here.
Both of them have masters in like I think computer science. Something like that. And then my dad got a second master's in something CS related when I was like 4.
The other issue with the economy is okay. So let's say we too many immigrants. We have to control everything. We're going to build a fence. We got to hire ICE, or we got to hire La Migra, or we got to hire people. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact number, but I remember seeing like an article that a bunch of ICE agents got like huge bonuses and stuff, which I imagine is kind of collectively a lot of money.
Well, yeah, because you're not going to be able to get people to do. First of all, there's a lot of communities in the United States that are really struggling. You know, here I got one for you. Ford they just closed down a plant that makes batteries for F-150 trucks. And our government decided we're not going to invest in battery-powered automobiles, right? We're not doing that. Okay, well, all those people need jobs, and they were making between $35 and $40 an hour. So, like, well, ICE is hiring, so they go work for ICE. It's complicated, right?
Yeah, very complicated.
So we want unskilled workers who are going to be willing to do things that other people don't want to do. And you can say, hey man, you're going to have to go out and pick onions. Like, you know what, pick onions? That's the only job available to you. Go pick the effing onions, right? And this is what happens. So the farmers are like, yeah, okay, we'll pay you to pick onions. We'll even triple your wages. We'll pay you like $20. There's so many examples that Americans are still like, onions. I'll eat onions. Wait, you want me to pick onions? And the issue is that if you're living in a place where you grew up, it's not because people are lazy. It's because when you live in a place where you grew up, you always have someone who can take care of you somehow. You have family. I can live with my grandmother. I don't have a job, but I can live with my grandmother. I'm not going to go pick onions on the hot sun in Florida. You know what I mean? So you're going to do something to get by, and it's easier to get by.
On this next slide, how come Africa and some Middle East
are grayed out? Yeah, because we just don't have data for them on this particular test. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Saudi's up there, though. You're purple, too. Dude, wait, Saudis, what's up with that? You're purple. Going back to the discussion about the H-1B petition, how much you pay the petition. So there's actually a clarification on that, where immigrants from outside of the country, when they issue a petition, the companies have to pay $100,000 for them. However, if it's a change of status in the US, they would not have to pay the $100,000. So, could you share any thoughts on that? With the White House, or the politicians in Washington, they started getting pushback from business people. Well, like, dude, are you nuts? You know what I mean? You know how much these visas keep this economy going? So that's that. I do want to add, that correction, that amendment was made in 2014. Yeah. Well, listen, for all you Trump dislikers out there, I don't know if you're to say haters. The
cool thing about Trump is he's on your toes, man. He just beats you on the hip, like boom, boom, boom. Trav said, how much will AI impact the conversation on immigration jobs? Hugely. Just like for AI is a huge issue, robotics, AI, etc. Because AI is about two things. It's about reproducing. It's artificial intelligence. It's reproducing our brains and it's reproducing our bodies. So it's people who are able to code robots and make robots reproduce our bodies. So I can have a robot that I can, easily, like I could easily reach down and take that name tag off your shirt. A robot can do that. So we get better at programming. So that's what AI is. If citizens are already losing jobs, how can we immigrate people in without further damage? Well, this is the problem. It's a very complex thing. And you hear what Trav just said? His comments are really important for the two, what he wrote, because if we're already losing jobs, if the job market is being disrupted, then we also need to be thinking about, do we raise the immigrant and number of immigrants, do we decrease the number of immigrants? We're doing the whole thing. This is why it's complicated.
I think the problem with AI jobs and immigration, it's not immigration that should be the issue, it should be the AI. I think that's a huge problem that our government needs to really figure out. Obviously that's really complicated because it's evolving every day. I don't know, again, I don't know that much about AI, but I know that I think if AI is taking our jobs, then I don't think we should be decreasing the number of people that need the jobs. I think we should be stopping AI from taking our jobs.
Well, it's got to create jobs. So you got to find this balance. We're in a very dynamic.
I guess it is also a two-sided thing because it's okay, what jobs are AI taking? It's coding jobs,
Yeah,
but then who's making the AI? It's people that code. I don't know. I think there's a lot of because I know a lot of people like my dad, but then also people my age that are getting AI certificates and learning how to work with that and learning how to make artificial intelligence. There's people that I know back home that work with AI and stuff, and it's I don't know. I think there's just a lot of different factors that I'm not really too sure.
Yeah, but you're thinking. Yeah, you're thinking out loud.
But it is a conversation that needs to be had.
It's awesome. You guys got that?
So our immigration policy also needs to solve climate change and determine how AI impacts the job market.
Yeah, make sure you guys take.
Yes.
if you guys are here. So I think it's very clear.
Imagine you're sitting at a restaurant and you're trying to figure. Imagine you're sitting at a restaurant.
$100 million. That's what the Restream has been reportedly spent. What two country? Spontaneous. My degree, but still no They say higher education is outdated. Irrelevant. They say don't settle for the status quo.
I read Canyon University
Shattered. And redefining what higher education looks like. We lead with a pioneering spirit. In classrooms, they're incubators for bold ideas. Our academically rigorous, industry-driven programs are education accessible to all.
New opportunity. You have one purpose. And you guys will lead answer in meaningful ways.
More than just education. It's preparation for a life that transforms. Purpose-driven education. Take action. Find your purpose. Like Grand Canyon University. Spontaneous, but not, and organized strategic arson operation across at least 15 Mexican states. Lorries, cars, shops, businesses. So the cartels in Mexico are waging war against their own people while the entire place hangs on by a thread, with criminal chaos taking over businesses, hotels, and even airports, paralyzing an entire nation. The bad guys always assume will be home to their empire, an empire which the United States is secretly helping Mexico's government dismantle. Government service helped by U.S. intelligence moving against El Mencho or Nemesio Oseguana Cervantes, longtime head of the Jalisco Degeneration Cartel, subject to a $15 million reward from the U.S. government.
Well, the truth is, the whole situation that's happening is very serious. Unfortunately, it's not the
Check
first
where
time
the maintenance guys.
everywhere on the street.
So,
Fires all around us.
that being said,
It can be terrifying.
I'll see y'all next time. Thank you.